And today's video is how to remove the rear spoiler from an '07 Mustang. Well, as you look underneath the hood or under the tailgate, you got 4 bolts. Simple, eh? Undo the bolts. Well, wrong answer. Now I don't have the stand-up spoiler. I've got the one that actually sits flush on the trunk. Well, when I went to try to remove it, come to find out, the factory put double tape under the spoiler along with your 4 bolts. So this is what I have. As you can see, I have double tape. You pull your 4 bolts, that's fine. This is the spoiler that I have, and sit this back in there, because what I want to do is I want to put a different spoiler on here. So this is the spoiler that's on there currently. As you can see, it's a very flush mount spoiler, and you got your 4 bolts. You get your 4 bolts right here. You got 1 here, you got 2 there, and 2 there. Okay, that's simple. But then when I went to pull it up, it wouldn't come up. Well, come to find out, it's got double tape. And what I did to get through it, I was thinking of using glue gun, but I didn't get that far. What I did is I sprayed it down with WD-40, and I put a little pressure on it. In this case, I used a in there. In this case, what I did is I used a funnel, a long funnel, but you can find something. The main thing is you want to make it so what you're using is not going to scratch your paint. And the WD-40 kind of went in there and softened up the glue. And what I used is a 3-inch spatula, plastic spatula, and I slowly started working it under. I was going like this, and then eventually what I did is I used a rubber mallet, and then got back there. I got through the first layer here, which was great. I didn't realize they had a second layer. So I used WD-40, and I used plastic. If you don't, you're going to scratch the paint. So that's my tip for today. And leave me some comments. Maybe you have something easier to do. Maybe you've come across this problem before. And today's video is a continuation of the one I did the other day of taking the rear spoiler off of the '07 Mustang, because I was going to put a new spoiler on it, because the one I got right now is actually, it just lays right on top of the trunk, and it's really, as far as I'm concerned, not functional, and you really can't see it. So I got thinking about it, and I said, well, what if I lift this one up, make it as high as the other spoilers that sit up. So I got thinking about it, and I had some rubber, 1-inch rubber strips kicking around that I'd found over the years, and I said, well, what if I cut them? I cut them in squares, and then put holes through it, and then build it up to the height I wanted, and then set it on there. Well, the only issue was that I had was the fact that the studs that go into the spoiler currently are only like 1 inch long. So what I had to do is figure out a way to extend those. So what I wound up doing is getting some extenders, and then I went ahead and crimped those down. I got some carriage bolts, and then I went ahead and cut them longer, and then get some and then I got some Loctite, and then I made sure they're all locked good, because you don't want them to come loose. So that extends those out to as long as I want to do it. And then here are these blocks, and I glued them together, and then I drilled the holes through them big enough to go over those extender nuts. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape this. What I did is I put 4 inches together, so I'm lifting it up 4 inches. Going to make it look pretty neat as far as I'm concerned. And then I'll go ahead and customize, make these smoothed out, make them round, and then I'm going to go ahead and fiberglass them, and then paint them the color of the spoiler, and that should be good, you know. And then I've still got the retro look. I've got the spoiler that came with it, and that's basically all I needed. And then maybe I'll go ahead and paint the spoiler black to contour with the rest of the red Mustang, because I got black. Mainly everything is black, and then interior is black. And then I installed the scoop, and I just left it flat black. And then of course the grill I installed. I've got videos of that. And then that should be good, other than what I really want to do is get a set of louvers for it, and then tin it. So that's my tip for today. If you got any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to put them on. Hey, Dana here. This is the how-to retrofit a spoiler on an 07 Ford Mustang. Now, I've been working on this for a couple of days now, and here's the spoiler. It's off, and just a retake. The holding assembly, or the bolts that go through the trunk, were not long enough, so I added bolts to make it longer. And the darn thing, when it was bolted down, also had double tape on it. So that was fun trying to get that off the trunk lid. Now, I was trying to figure out how to lift it up, because I was going to go out and get another spoiler, but I said, well, why not use the one I got right now? So I was trying to figure out how to lift it up, and I had some rubber blocks that I'd collected over the years, and I cut them up, and I made squares out of them, and then I cut holes through them to mate with the bolts on the spoiler, and I built them up. As you can see, I built them up 4 inches, and then I took fiberglass and then fiberglassed them all together. And what I'm doing right now is taking Bondo and going over the fiberglass, and then I'll sand it down to how I want them to look, and then put it together. And if you've seen some pictures of my Mustang, you'll see how I slowly started getting an idea of what I wanted to do. So click on the subscribe button, follow me further on this project, and what I'm going to do next is if you want to try changing colors on your vehicle and not having to mess with hurting the paint, I found a rubber additive, or rubber paint, as you might want to call it, and it's called plastic dip. And if you spray that on a paint surface, it's going to stick to it as long as you made sure you got rid of the wax that's on it. Hey, Dana here, and it's a continuation of the retrofit of a spoiler on a 2007 Ford Mustang. And I finally got the pillars finished, And as you followed on the last videos, how about that bouncing around? What I originally had, because if you hadn't followed, I'd found some square blocks. They were rubber, and I put them all together, and then glued them, and then fiberglassed them, and then finally bondoed them. And in the end, this is how they turned out. I painted them a flat black, and they're pretty much all ready to go back in. And took me a little bit of time, but you know, it'll be worth it in the end. It's a little over 4 inches in height now from where this was originally glued right on the trunk, and I had to expand the stanchions on it, and yeah, two-way glue here, and I'm getting ready to put those together, and then I'm gonna flat black them together. And I wanted to do it without damaging the paint that was on there, so I got doing a little bit of investigating, and I got a buddy of mine who decided he wanted to paint some parts on his vehicle black, and they come out with what's called plastic dip. And what it is, when you spray it on, it turns to a rubber, and if you don't like what it is, you can just peel it off. So I'm getting ready to do that. So then my whole my spoiler will be black, my scoop is black, my rims are black, but of course the vehicle is red, and everything on it is trimmed in black. So to make it really, you know, everything stand out, and have just the black trim with the black car itself, or the red car itself, make it really, you know, make it really stand out, so you can actually see those accessories that are on there. So I'm gonna try and do a first painting on this today, and get it on the vehicle, and then tape up the vehicle, and then go ahead and do a final painting. They do say do 6 coats with this thing, but we'll see where we stand. So keep following. You can find me, of course, you find me right here on YouTube. Find out who I am professionally. You can go to www.danacrosby.info, which is my LinkedIn profile. And if you're looking to increase your cash flow, take a look at www.danacrosby.xyz. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon.